I want everybody, everywhere, to remember me. Hello out there in internet world. This is the flagship and the old Admiral here. Hits before Grammys. I guess you know there were a lot of them. And so, you know, this is one of mine that I did back in the 70s, in the 40s. So I want you to hear a little bit of that. And tonight, my guest is supposed to be here, Roy Lee Johnson. He didn't get in yet, but I think he'll get here. But I don't want you to forget about a sponsor out there, Blind Willie's. They're out there on Highland Avenue, 828 North Highland Avenue here in Atlanta. So wherever you are in the world, if you're coming into Atlanta, stop by Blind Willie's because they have the finest in blues music and been there for 23 years. This is the 24th year. Let's see, tonight, House Rockin' Johnson is there. And tomorrow night, the fabulous, we're going to hear a record in just a little bit. Sandra Hall, she's out there tomorrow night. And so I'll be in there in December. So hang right on in there and listen to this. Remember me, everybody. In the day, as they say, before 55, that you young people haven't heard, that you love to hear, and you can prove by it. I want everybody, everywhere, to remember me when they pray. Yes, I want everybody, everywhere, to remember me when they pray. I've been so mistreated, but my luck's gotta change someday. Yes! Hey, one night I threw a party. Cats was on the loose. My house was really rocking till my woman got juice. Then she started talking. You know that's the way she do. She talked and talked, yeah, and told everything she knew. Said I got up one morning, grabbed myself a snack. When I walked out my front door, my buddy walked in my back. And night and day, night and day, night and day, night and day, I have the blues. Yes. Night and day, 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 I have the blues. Night and day, 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 I have the blues. Night and day, night and day, night and day, night and day, I have the blues. Night and day, 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 I have the blues. Night and day, 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 I have the blues. Yeah, night and day, I have the blues. I guess you older people, you know about that. And I want to say hello to all my wonderful friends overseas there in England and London and up Paris and Spain and Germany. I was over there last year and hope to come back real soon. And I'm going to try to get Roy Lee over there too because his records are doing real well over there. And we're going to move right along though, reminding you once again about Blind Willie's and 828 North Highland Avenue here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we want you to get out there and, catch some of that good blues music out there. There's a stigma, like when you say blues, people frown up that don't know what the blues is all about. And I had a college professor to tell me that the blues was depressing, but he had never seen a blues show. So I want to tell you something. You go out to Blind Willie's, and I guarantee you won't be depressed. Or any place there's a blues show. This is good entertainment now. In fact, look like the city of Atlanta don't even want to say the word blues. Everything is jazz. And jazz is a real big part of blues. They just don't know. So, but anyway, we're going to move right along. We got Sweet Betty coming up. She's out there. She was there last Thursday. She'll be back next month, too. Sweet Betty, and she's doing, they call me Sweet Betty, and I call her that all the time because she's such a wonderful person. Sweet Betty, here she goes with They Call Me Sweet Betty. Yeah. Yeah, baby. That's with the Shadows Band and Brian Williams. Yeah, baby. Oh, they call me Sweet Betty, and I'm from Georgia too. Yeah, they call me Sweet Betty, and I'm from Georgia too. Well, I said, look up here, brother, I know what to do. But don't you get in my way. Yeah, you know I'm sweet, but don't you get in my way. 'Cause if you make me mad, you're gonna have to pay. Well, they call me Sweet Betty, and I'm from Georgia too. Hey, y'all, they call me Sweet Betty, and I'm from Georgia too. Well, brother, I know what to do. Sweet Betty Journey. She's tight, man. She's tight. Ooh, you gotta catch it. You gotta catch it. You know, I really have a bone to pick with the Georgia, what is it, the Music Hall of Fame down there that they just moved from Macon, Georgia. You know, there were so many artists in Atlanta back in the day that laid the groundwork and were top names throughout the country that never was even mentioned in that place down there. They only knew the young ones like James Brown and Little Richard that came along later. But there was Billy Wright and Red McAllister. There was just so many, you know, back in the day here. Atlanta was the place to jump off for New York. If you didn't make it here, there was no point in going to New York. You understand? That's what the place. A guy's named like Dr. Willie Jones that used to rock the place, you know. And all of them, B.B. King, all of them came here. I worked with most of them right here in Atlanta and then on the road with them, too. Even the Liggins brothers, Joe Liggins, Jimmy Liggins, they moved here, set up a booking agency here because this was the place, the Royal Peacock. I worked in there started back in 1937 when it was the Top Hat. And it was the Top Hat until Miss Carrie Cunningham around the mid-40s got hold to it and changed it to the Royal Peacock. And She changed a lot of things in Atlanta. Because they had her in that Hall of Fame down there. But there's so many people. Billy Wright, he should have been one of the first people in this state to go in, and they never even mentioned him. In fact, when Bill Lowry took over after Helen Greer first organized it, he had this meeting down at the Civic Center, and they had all of us down there, Billy Wright and Titus Turner, everybody, the local people down there, and were never mentioned. Only the white guys were mentioned, and they all got all the awards. And from that day on, many of them were never mentioned. But there's some people that came into Atlanta later that are put in there, like my good friend Nat Cole's brother. These are friends of mine, but they're not Atlanta people. They live here now, but they're not native Atlantans. William Bell, he's on the board of directors. But what does he know about the local people in Atlanta before he came to Atlanta? He doesn't know them. And so that's a bone that I have to pick with the people that's been running that organization. And it should have been in Atlanta in the first place, because this is where people come for history, to see about history in the state of Georgia. They come to Atlanta. They don't go to Macon. But right now, we're going to move right along with the music, ladies and gentlemen. And got a Bobby Blue Band from back in the late 50s, early 50s. It's called Members Only. I like this tune a lot, Members Only. And here we go. Let's take over, Bobby.
In 1985, on Malaco label, this is about the best I've got out to shoot with. Well, my love, oh my love, oh Lord, oh Lord. Members only, it's a private party. You don't need no money to qualify. And don't bring your checkbook, bring your broken heart, 'cause it's members only tonight. Say you lost your woman, say you lost your man. You got a lot of problems now in your life. They're having a party for the broken hearted, and it's members only tonight. You don't tell mama, and go tell daddy. Red or yellow, black or white, they are having a party for the sad and the lonely, and it's members only tonight. Members only, well, it's a private party. You don't need no money to qualify. And don't bring your checkbook, bring your broken heart, 'cause it's members only tonight. Oh Lord, tonight. With my Lord, tonight. My Lord. I want to thank you. Thank you for coming. I hope we can do it again. Dexter, and all my men tonight. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Bobby Bland. How about that? Bobby Blue Bland. Wherever you are, give him a big round of applause. That's my man. I worked with Bobby years ago. And I was looking at some of the people that I've worked with today, Big Maybell and Chevy Hip Shaking Newsom and Ruth Brown, Charles Brown, Gatemouth Brown, All these people I've had the pleasure of working with. I came along at the right time when I got a chance to work with all of the greats. And I'm so happy that I came along at that time because I had the pleasure of knowing and meeting these people. And even, that Butterbean and Sousa was a great act. And they did a little song and dance thing there. And the tap dancers, Teddy Hale and the great drummer, well, all of the great musicians that I've had the pleasure of working with, Sonny Stitt and Willis Gatortail Jackson and Curtis, King Curtis, and all these people I had the pleasure of working with. Red Holloway and his brother not Red Holloway, but I did work with Red Holloway, but Red what's his name? You got me there. But when I worked with him down at the Peacock there, and just about everybody came through the Peacock. And I think Pee Wee Creighton, I had the pleasure of working with Pee Wee Creighton. Some of these people you've never heard of, but you should hear of them because this is our heritage. Blues music is our heritage. R&B, that's rhythm music and blues music. And in there comes a little bit of what they call jazz, which comes out of rhythm and blues. When you're singing a song and you give the man a solo and he has to ad-lib and express his own ideas and feelings within the structure of that song, that's all jazz is expressing yourself and your ideas. You can't teach jazz. I hear kids say, I'm going to college and learn to play jazz. You can't go and learn to play jazz. You can go and learn the fundamentals of music. But jazz, just like and I'm going to give you the secret to our music, all black music is about a feeling. It's about a feeling. You understand? If you don't feel it, you can't play it. Now, you can go and learn it on the record, and it'll sound the same, but it won't feel the same. You understand? We sing from feeling. If you go to church, they jump and shout because they feel it. In the nightclub, they scream and holler because they feel it. You see, our music is about a feeling, and that's what people don't seem to understand, that our music is about a feeling. You can play it, you can imitate it, but you cannot treat it with respect until you can feel it. But we're going to move right along right now, ladies and gentlemen. I got a good friend that from Atlanta that should be in there, and he's out in California now. He was here and had started his record company here. We all had our own. I had the first black record company in Georgia, and then this man came along, J.J. Jones. We worked together back when we were kids. We played together at 12 and 13 years old. And Jesse James Jones Jr., before we get to him, let's do this For Your Precious Love with Francine Reed. Francine Reed and Your Precious Love. I'll get back to JJ in a minute because that cat, you got to hear him. He's bad. This is Francine Reed. She also works at Prime Reed.
You are an angel, I can tell. And you're a good girl. And you're a bad girl. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love that. That's my costume for the week. For your precious love means more to me than any love could ever be.
You gotta see it.
For when I want you, I was so lonely and so blue. But that's what good love, bad love will do. Yeah, they say that our love won't grow, but I'm gonna sit here and tell them that they don't really know. For Lord, you're in love with me. Love is gonna go wide, yeah, dear.
How about that? Francine Reed.
In our own time.
Francine Reed and William Bell. How about that? Give them some applause wherever you are out there, because they're really working out. And Francine's also, she appears out there at Blind Willie's. I was trying to see if she'll be there on the 25th. So you got to go out there and catch her. But, just stop by Blind Willie's and catch the shows out there, because they have finest shows, some of the finest shows in Atlanta. And people from all over the world are there. I've met some people from Germany, Spain, Italy, even from Australia. I was down there in Australia about 2 years ago, and fabulous people in Australia. And I plan to go back there too. So I want you to really, if you like what you're hearing, you like the music on here, and you have some you have some comments you'd like to make, don't hesitate to email us on the internet. My email is tbrown123@clear.net. tbrown123@clear.net. And email me with you have some comments. I'd like to hear from you, and like to know if you like the show, if you like the music that we're playing. And right now, one of the reasons some of these songs are not before the 50s is because I have hundreds of them, but I got to transfer them from 45s, 78s, and 33 and a third to CDs so they can be played on the air. Because very few people now have turntables that play those. So, but I've got some. Next week I got some Eddie Cleanhead Vincent, Roy Brown, Gatemouth Brown. Oh, I've got Ruth Brown, Charles Brown, all the Browns. I got some stuff on Ray Charles too. And I got just loads and loads of good music from back before Grammy started in 1955. When we had hit records, a lot of them didn't get played on the radio, but they became hits on the jukebox, because they weren't playing blues records on the radio. Back in the day, it was called race music then, and it was supposed to be dirty. And one of the reasons was because the words in there that says, rock and roll, rock me, baby, roll me. It was considered dirty music, so they didn't play it on the air. But right now, we're going to move right along with the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you again in just a few minutes. This is one that I did back in 1947, and it's called Atlanta Boogie, and it's got a rock and roll all the way through it. I don't think Elvis was born then, So Atlanta Boogie, let's put it on. Atlanta Boogie.
Atlanta Boogie! Atlanta Boogie! Boogie, boogie all night long. Atlanta Boogie! Boogie, boogie all night long. Atlanta Boogie, where the cats really come on strong. Well, the whole town's rocking just about the break of day. Well, the whole town's rocking just about the break of day. Well, when the boys start jumping, you can hear the cats all sing.
Roy Lee, my guest. 1947.
Well, Atlanta boogie, boogie, woogie all night long. Well, Atlanta boogie, boogie, woogie all night long. Well, Atlanta boogie, where the cats really come on strong.
Yeah, Atlanta boogie. See, so let's rock and roll in Atlanta, boy. See, back in the day, that was considered dirty music to say rock and roll. That's long before Elvis. As the song said, big leg woman, keep your dress tail down, who Lordy mama. That was dirty music. And roll me in your big brass bed till my face turned cherry red. Rock me, baby. All these things. And they wouldn't play them, so, till later when they found out there could be money made at it. But they had to change it over to Elvis. And I remember the night that Elvis came into the Flamingo Club in Memphis, Tennessee, and asked me if he could sit in with my band. And I said, sure. And Benny Smith and let's see, that was Benny Smith on guitar, and Lloyd White on piano, and Jackie Brinston on baritone sax. All right, Gene Barge was on drums, and we had a good band. Had a hell of a good band. It was rock. Came here to Atlanta, stayed here for about 6 weeks to do a tour with Henry Wynn, and so we just had a good time, good show on the road. We toured all over the South, and back in the day, there were a lot of good bands around Atlanta, house rockers and all back in that day. And they don't have much places to work now. There are not many places for good blues bands to work, And so what are they going to do? But people like the blues music. I would like to take blues into the schools so that our young kids can get to the roots of all of the music that you hear every day. You can call it rock and roll, hip hop, or whatever. The roots of it came from R&B, rhythm, music, and blues music. Rhythm, music, and blues music. And I'm writing my book now, and I'll explain a lot of things in there. I should finish it sometime next year, and I'm looking forward to getting it out on the market. Right now, we're going to move right along. The young man that I was telling you about a little while ago, J.J. Jones, got a heck of a good thing about him. If I should ever lose you, man, you got to hear this. It's a mellow song. It's an old song, and it's mellow. Listen to J.J. Jones. How about that? He's on saxophone. Isn't that fabulous? J.J. Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Fabulous. J.J. Jones on the tenor saxophone. And let me tell you something. Now, that was true jazz. Did you notice he went a lot of places, but he stayed within the melody? Now, you could understand that. When you start doing progressions and all that, and your audience don't understand, your musicians may know what you're doing, but if your audience don't, you lose them. They start talking. J.J., it's got to be jazz in it, because he can't read music. Would you believe that? He can't read a note big as his house, but he can play it. So he has to express himself in it. He has to tell you it. And there are a lot of great musicians back in the day that couldn't read music. A lot of them that became big names, you never knew they couldn't read music because they played their feelings. You know, they used to say they didn't have black cats in symphony orchestras because they'd have to put a little soul in it and slur a note or two. But the symphony's got to be hit just like it's written. So back in the day, you didn't find them in the symphony orchestra. Only a few years ago, they started putting them in the symphony orchestra when they got disciplined enough to play only what's written. But I just wanted to pass that on to you. J.J., one of the finest musicians that you'll ever meet and finest gentleman you ever meet. He lives in Los Angeles now, and I was out there about a month ago. I didn't get to see him this time, but normally when I go out, I see him and talk with him. And we were playing as kids the day the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. We were playing as kids on the street. And his mother, Miss Minnie, she was a hell of a piano player and couldn't read music. I mean, she could play anything she heard, she could play it. And he's the same way with his saxophone. You see? So it's not about how much music you know. It's how you feel and how much brain you got to put your feeling together with your fingers and your heart and your mind and soul. Hey, let's move right along right now, ladies and gentlemen. I got one here. We got Albert White. He plays with Eddie Tigner. And I understand my good friend Eddie Tigner, for those people over there in Europe that know Eddie Tigner. He comes over with the Music Maker Review. I understand he went into the hospital this morning. I didn't get a chance to get over and see him. I will see him tomorrow. And I'll let you know next week how he's doing. I don't know how serious it is. But Albert White works with him out at Fat Max Barbecue. So you got to go out there and get some Fat Max Barbecue. And Albert White is doing Bring It On Home to Me. Let's turn him on that. Albert White, Bring It On Home to Me.
If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, so won't you bring your sweet love
white and bring it on home to me. Let me tell you, there's some other people that's going to be down there at Blind Willie's too. There's the Breeze Kings wake down there sometime, but they're out in North Side this week, or Thursday night. And also, the Atlanta Boogie, they named their group after my song, Atlanta Boogie, and they're going to be there next Tuesday night. So, they were there this past Tuesday night. I'm sorry about that. Next holiday, the 15th the holidays will be there. Brent Bacon on the 16th, Bill Sheffield on the 14th, Sweet Betty on the 17th, and boy, he just got the Nighthawks, and House Rockin' Johnson. Blind Willies just keep rocking all the time. You got to get down there. And Carlos and the Breeze Kings, they're usually downtown there at the juke joint. Give them a little plug down there. And my good friend Willie Hill also down there. Sometimes I'm down there. And so, stop in down there at the juke joint and holler at them. And there's just so many wonderful places around Atlanta to stop and see some good entertainment. Real entertainment, So I want you to get out there and do all of those good things for me. Right now, we're going to do a tune that everybody seems to like. One of my songs is called Women in Cadillacs, and I don't know why they like it, but it's even been used in a movie. Women in Cadillacs, here we go. Thank you.
Well, women in Cadillacs, they go hand in hand. Yes, women in Cadillacs, they go hand in hand. Well, women walk Cadillacs, they don't want no man. Well, I used to have a woman, yes, and she loved me so. Yes, I used to have a woman, yes, and she loved me so. But now she got a Cadillac, she can't use me no more. I'm telling you, ride on, baby, ride. Well, ride on, baby, ride. Well, ride on, baby, ride. Yes, ride on, baby, ride. Well, ride on, baby, ride. And I hope it's worth your while. Well, ride through the mama, ride. Well, ride through the mama, ride. Yes, ride through the mama, ride. Well, ride through the mama, ride. Well, ride through the mama, ride. And I hope it's worth your while. Hey! Ride on, baby.
Now he's jazzing it up. He's jazzing it up.
Yes, Cadillac, baby, don't you mess around with me. Whoa, Cadillac, baby, don't you mess around with me. I'll live on through the mama, just you wait and see. Yes, ride on, baby, ride. Well, 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 ride on, baby, ride. And I hope it's worth your while. Well, ride through the mama, ride. Well, ride through the mama, ride. Well, ride through the mama, ride. Yes, ride through the mama, ride. Well, ride through the mama, ride. Until the day you die. I said, Cadillac, baby, don't you mess around with me.
Yes.
Yes, Cadillac, baby, don't you mess around with me. I'll live on through the mama, yes, you wait and see.
All right. That's been re-released on Bone Dog Records. That's out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Jeff Ingersoll up there at Pittsburgh, and you can get him on the internet up there because he has an auction on old records every month, and Jeff's got all these old records up there. Some of them I got that he haven't got those, but Jeff, you know, I record for Jeff up there. That's on my album from there, Remember Me. And then I got another one here, the last album I did with him. It's called Rockin' My Blues Away. And it's a good CD. It's a good CD, and I want you to run out and get it. You can order it from up there. And my classic, though, you have to order it from me. That's at that email address, tbrown123@clear.net. That's the classic Tommy Brown. That's all the stuff recorded between 1946 and 56. When Billy Wright first went in the studio to record, my band was backing Billy Wright. And that's how I got into recording. Chick Willis was first, then Billy Wright, and then I followed. We were recording downtown at WGST radio station then. You know, it was wonderful back in the day. The music was, and we played all over. By the time I was 16 years old, my band had been all down in Texas. We toured all over Florida. Just had a wonderful. I had a good band. James Hudson and a gentleman played saxophone named Fred Jackson, and John Peake is still here. He played in most of the guys played in my band. Next week I'm going to play a record that I recorded on Paul Mitchell and his trio. A fabulous record on Paul Mitchell and his trio. And let me tell you something. I was the one that took the Pips into the studio and recorded them on a Sunday morning after rehearsing them for 6 months. Gladys Knight and the Pips. I recorded every beat of my heart. Every beat of my heart. I'm the one that recorded it. And record companies were calling me, trying to reach me, and I had a buddy, a partner that I took in that owned the club, the Builders Club, Clifford Hunter. And he was trying to steal the company out from under me because I borrowed $500 from him to do the session. And he told them not to sign a contract with me. So what happened was, when I released the record and it hit, we was getting orders for 40, 50,000 records a day, and I couldn't order them because he had the phones cut off. So Bobby Robinson called WAOK, got Alley Pat and Zena Sears. Alley Pat's still alive, and he can tell you, gave them $2,000 apiece. Got Gladys Nims $1,800 and flew them to New York supposedly and re-recorded it. But I don't think they did, because there's no way you can have two records identical like that. It's just impossible to do. I later one morning heard Gladys Knight tell Dinah Shore that the club owner played a trick on them and had a tape recorder hid behind the bar in the Builders Club and recorded them. That's a lie. I recorded them at National Recording Studios out there off of, I believe that's out in Buckhead it was. We went out there on Sunday morning. I recorded the Gardenias, the Southern Gospel All-Stars, Little Clarence, Lil Sadler. I had 9 people in groups that I recorded. And so this is the truth. I wouldn't lie to you. I've been instrumental in a number of people's career getting kicked off. And say, what happened to you? Well, I got blackballed in New York in 1956. Jack Archer was working for Show Artists Corporation, and he called me in and said, Tommy, I can't book you anymore. I said, why? He said, you've been blackballed. I said, why? They said, you're a smart nigga. And that was what happened there. When I got out of the military, they had 5 Tommy Browns working on my record, weeping and crying. Carlton Coleman was one of them. He's a preacher, I understand, in Florida, if he's still living. And one gentleman last year, about 3 years ago, had a preacher come to me. He thought I was his father because, his dad, they named him Tommy Brown on the record. But I wasn't the one. I didn't leave any of mine out there on the road. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to move right along with the show right now. And Sweet Home Chicago by, wow, that fantastic young lady up there at Blind Willie's, Sandra Hall. Let's give it to her and bring her on down front.
Now you got to dance on this one. That means you got to get up and shake yourself up. Hey! Do you want to go? Do you want to go? Come on and go. Come on and go. Come on. Everybody put their hands together for one. Hey, y'all!
told you she's tough. Sandra Hall. That girl is tough. Yeah. Hey, boy. Let me mention Sana Blues Band. She's got a wonderful band here, and most of the bands around here are available for weddings, parties, and all the other kind of things you want to do. So keep them in mind, and if you got an engagement, you can give me a call or give them a call. They'll list it, and, I'm open for engagements too. But I want you to keep an eye out for old records that you'd like to hear, and drop me an email, and if I can find it, I'll bring it on for you. And right now we're going to move right on along with the one from my latest CD, and just get into it. You'll understand it. Yeah. 1951. That was a disc jockey. It's been forgotten that shouldn't be. Ned Lupus, called Jack the Bellboy. He opened the gates in a lot of ways. WES Independent. Former Ed River Station. One of the old governors of Georgia. I was sitting in the Royal Peacock, and a young lady I was engaged to came in with another man. Ooh, had my ring on her finger. Tore me up. When I reached out in the bed beside me, yes, my woman wasn't there. Yes. That was the #1 blues record of the year, 1951-52. When I got out of service in 52 in August, it was still #1. But I never got paid. Never. Next week, I'm going to show you a check that I got from Columbia Records for 2 cents. 2 cents. And this one never got a penny. But recently I started getting $30 checks, $18 checks, like that. I've gotten about 4 of them. Yet it's in my publishing company, and me as the artist, record companies didn't pay. They still don't pay. I want to thank you for listening this evening and watching, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope to see you real soon in a live engagement. I expect to be back in Europe sometime next year, Australia, and I've covered every state but Hawaii, and I plan to cover that next year. And then I'm going to Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. And believe me, they won't be virgin when I leave. Thank you for watching tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it up. Let me hear from you on the email, tbrown123@clear.net. tbrown123@clear.net. If you like the music that you're hearing on this program, ladies and gentlemen, and we could use some sponsors too. Yeah, Miss Shaughnessy out there. Thank you for your kind donation to help keep us on the air. Yeah. Thank you so much. One of the blues lovers. And And the Blues Society is wonderful too. You got to join there. The Atlanta Blues Society. Thank you, and until next time, God bless. And I'm your whole ring day killer.